起きろ。これがさっき書いてあったことか。あと2回。
See this? This is you. Yeah, you. You probably feel stuck. Feel as if you're not improving artistically. Why? Because you're not willing to leave your comfort zone. And if you are scared to leave your comfort zone, you will never improve. That's the cold, bitter truth. No sugarcoating, no lies, just the truth. And if you think that's nonsense, well, I think differently. You will never improve because you will always fear the things needed for you to get better. Think about how many times you tried to practice that one thing you know will make you a better artist but didn't, simply because of the fear of failure. The times you had to practice anatomy, color, and perspective. Heck, the time you had to go outside and touch grass. The truth is, you simply can't hope to improve if you fear being uncomfortable, if you fear failure. Some of the best artists and most successful people in the entire world understand this concept very well, and that is why they are who they are now. You think Dan Mora, one of the best comic book artists I've ever seen, was hung up on every single failed drawing of his. You think he was crying about every single one of them? Like, yeah, sure. Maybe it's gotten him down in the dumps a few times like it would do every human being. But the important thing is that he got back up and kept going. And the same can be said for George Jimenez, Sam Does Arts, Guez, Woolup, Mark Brunette, and the list goes on. Any artist you look up to or person who are doing the things you find hard and you find impossible, they had to get uncomfortable. And yes, they might have been scared, but they wanted the art so badly that even the fear could stop them. Look at them now. They're winning so hard artistically. It was worth it. And look at you, still scared to even try and learn how to draw a basic hand, which you can learn by checking out this video, by the way. But anyways, now, if you're a beginner artist or someone looking to only have fun with their art, then I want you to be wary about what I'm about to say, because the last thing I would want is for you to feel pressured in any way by my words, especially if you are a beginner. Honestly, you can leave the video right now and go watch another video on the channel if you don't want to upset your fun groove that you might have going on right now. This is for those who feel a bit stuck and feel as if their art is not improving no matter how hard they try, and perhaps need an extra boost of clarity to get themselves going. Alright, so the art babies are gone now. It's just me and you now, having a heart-to-heart. This is something I wish I had when I was in a similar situation. So in a sense, I'm talking to anybody who is in a similar situation to what I was in and still somewhat is still in. Listen, man, it's just the truth. If you want to improve, sometimes you have to face uncomfortable situations. These situations are there in place to test you, to see if you really have what it takes to get to the next level. As the saying goes, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Think of it like exercising. It's not always fun, I can tell you that, and it's most definitely not comfortable. But how do you expect your muscles to grow if you simply don't do the appropriate task to grow them? You can't expect to have massive gains if you sit in a chair all day doing everything except working out. Now, replace exercise with practicing art, and replace muscles with your art skills, or anything at all you are looking to get better at. Maybe it's sports, or maybe it's giving speeches, who knows. And replace sitting in that chair with complacency and fear of failure. You know you can become a better artist, and you also know where your art is right now isn't bad, but it's not the best you know you can be. Now, do you see the correlation? Do you think what Jinwoo went through in Soul Leveling is in any way, shape, or form comfortable? I don't know about you, but getting killed and revived and thrown into a life or death situation instantly doesn't sound like the most comfortable experience to me. But look at him now. Or look at me, for example. I became a YouTuber, and trust me, it can feel really uncomfortable at first, especially when you have to sit and talk to yourself in a corner all the time. I feel doubt all the time. thinking that my videos are just not good enough that people want to watch them. I compare myself all the time to the more successful art YouTuber or artists. Why? Because I'm human. Yes, just like you, I too suffer through the same problems. But if I didn't stick myself into that discomfort, then I simply wouldn't be here talking to you, trying to improve my game in hopes of helping you to do the same. Doing this has allowed me to see areas where I needed massive improvement, just so I could be better able to help or entertain you who's watching this video. After all, helping you helps me. Like and subscribe. And some of you might hear what I'm saying right now and agree, but at the same time might find that thought scary, or that maybe you won't be able to handle the hardships that might come with seeking to get better. Example, the biggest hardship that seems to have everybody scared: failure. I want you first to understand it's normal to feel this way. How you feel and what you're going through is nothing out of the ordinary. It's normal for you to look at your work and think badly of it, perhaps because it's not up to par with your standards. It's normal to think that everything is hard artistically, and that you might not be good enough to attempt those hard things, because you can't come to terms with the idea that you just might not succeed in the way you want to. But you can't be afraid of failure, because you are actively trying to learn something that you have never learned before. You can't expect to be perfect from the jump, because you wouldn't even have any knowledge of what you're doing. And the expectation to be perfect at that point is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. But Marky, what about me? I've been trying to get better at this one thing for so long and I still can't get it right. I failed so many times and still the results are nowhere near what I want. And to that I say, perhaps your expectations are so high, but the time you have given yourself to meet those expectations is so low. Think about it. There must be something, even the smallest detail, you have learned throughout all those failures you have made. And if for some extraordinarily strange reason you might have not learned anything, then perhaps it's time to rethink your strategy. Rethink your approach. Because after all, the way how the next person learns might not be the same way you learn. The way how I learned might not be the same way you will learn. You might learn through a more controlled environment where failure is limited, whilst I may have the approach of someone who learns the most throughout those failures. Because after all, failure can be seen as an opportunity to learn. So think about that for a second. Think about how you learn and the approach that works best for you. But don't think too much, because truthfully, overthinking can be your worst enemy. Stop overthinking about what you have to do and just do it. The more time you give your brain to create these negative scenarios is the more time you take away from yourself and your growth. Trust me, I am an avid overthinker, and most of the time that has done me more bad than good. And if you are someone who can handle the logical justifications of sometimes you first need to fail to succeed, then you are going to have an incredibly hard time as an artist. Because there are going to be so many things that are just not going to go your way. And truth be told, I can't sugarcoat this for you. The honest truth is, the strong survive. Because art is not easy. You're going to have times of immense doubt. I don't care how skilled you are. You are going to have times you just want to quit. But the fact that you overcame those emotions and kept pushing, that's what makes art so rewarding at times. And that's why it's so valuable. And that's what makes you strong. Because it's accumulation of skill built through hardships. Hardships many would never even dare to attempt to endure. But guess who endured it? You. Because you want this dream so much. You are obsessed that no amount of failure, self-doubt, self-sabotage, outside negative thinking can hold you down. because you have become so obsessed with this craft and this dream. And as most successful artists will tell you, obsession beats talent every single damn time. Obsession is the reason that no matter how crazy the dream might appear, you still stick with it. And obsession is not something you can force. You just generally have to want that dream so badly that you just can't help but keep fighting for it, man. So if you suck at anatomy, go practice the parts you suck at. If you suck at perspective, go practice perspective. And don't just look up YouTube videos or forum pages about how to do things. Actually do the thing. Actually go ahead and draw. Too many times we confuse research for doing the thing we want to do, and we end up doing nothing. Heck, leave this video right now and take that motivation you are probably feeling and get to work. But remember, motivation is temporary. Dedication, drive, and discipline will do you so much better in the long run. And before you go, I want to say one thing. Please be careful. Don't get it twisted. Yes, you are leaving your comfort zone, which is good. But remember, take it one step at a time. Don't try to do everything at once and overwhelm yourself. Take your time to focus on each thing individually. Don't overwhelm yourself with excessive learning and excessive studying. Just make sure whatever you are learning, you are applying it into your work, and that you can clearly see the benefits of it in your work. At the very least, you somewhat like whatever you're working on. This drawing that I'm working on in the background was really out of my comfort zone. I barely practiced perspective, and it made me realize how much interest and dynamics my art was missing, and what I could achieve if I understood how to use perspective grids. And even though in my eyes this drawing wasn't even close to what I envisioned, I still see it as just a step closer to my goals of being a better artist. And that's why I showed it to you, instead of perhaps maybe my best work, because I want you to see and understand that your best work isn't the only thing you can learn from. Every failure is an opportunity to learn. Never forget that. With that being said, you have to leave your comfort zone to level up your art. Accept your shortcomings and keep pushing forward. This is just something I really wish somebody was there to tell me when I was in a similar situation. The only person who gave me an idea of what I was going through was a French friend of mine. His name is Ant Wolf. Ant Wolf said to me that I came to him one day and I was like, hey, I feel like I'm not improving. And he was like, yeah, it seems you're plateauing, right? It basically means like at one point in time you're like this, and then your entire progress just flatlines, which is okay. It's okay for you to improve and then flatline, because you're at a point now where you're just refining your skills, right? And this is a part of the video that I didn't mention until the end, because it's not as important to talk about in one video. I want to keep as much confusion out of the main video as possible. But there are times, just hear me out, there are times where your comfort zone is important, but that probably will need an entire video on its own. Now, as always, thank you so much for listening. Happy drawing, and I'm watching from afar, and I'm rooting for you. Peace.